I'm about to unleash about Shedeur Sanders. Brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. I just watched what happened to Shedeur Sanders in the Cleveland Browns' third and final preseason game. And I'm outraged, I'm sickened, and I'm saddened. By the way, Shedeur continues to be treated in the National Football League now by those sorry-ass Browns and sorry-ass Kevin Stefanski. So, yeah, Flacco started today, and I'll give you this, he played well. He was 9 out of 10 for 71 yards, threw a couple of nice balls. Dylan Gabriel played the second quarter and played well. He always plays well. I know him inside and out. I watched every snap he took for 2 years at the University of Oklahoma. Watched a lot of him at Oregon. He's a good little battler. He will, as he says, compete. He's a little better than Tua is, and he's sort of a carbon copy of Tua, also from Hawaii. But he's a little undersized. His arm's fine. But he went 12 of 19, had a couple of misfires, but 12 of 19 for 129. Threw some nice balls. Touchdown pass, wide open to Drake Stoops, another Oklahoma guy. Way to go, Drake. Hope you make the squad. Don't know that you will. Shedeur got the third quarter and then a good chunk of the fourth quarter. And it was a disaster, except for the very first play. Shedeur escaped right, threw a really nice ball up the boundary to somebody named Sal Cannella. I don't know Sal Cannella. I had to look him up. Played, this is his fourth NFL team, bounced around minor league football. Undrafted free agent back in whatever it was, 2020, and unsigned as an undrafted free agent. Nobody signed him. He's not even listed on the Cleveland Browns depth chart at tight end. There are 4 listed right now on the ESPN.com depth chart, and he's not even listed. So he's at best the 5th tight end on this squad. Will he make the practice? I have no idea. I doubt he'll make the squad. But that's what Shedeur was stuck with. Shedeur obviously held the ball too long, but he's trying to make a play because he's trying to make a splash. He made a big splash in that first preseason game when everybody was hurt and they had no choice but to play him, and he lit them up. He shamed them and the NFL in the first preseason game with that performance. It was spectacular and completely unsurprising to me because I'm going to say it again one more time. I said before last college football season started that Shedeur should go first overall or Travis Hunter, 1-2-2-1, whether the team drafting first needed a quarterback. But Shedeur should have been the first quarterback drafted. And then my man Mel Kiper, who's been doing this a long time, as long as I've been doing it, doubled down and said Shedeur should go first of all the quarterbacks. That was his final mock drafting, his final big board. Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in the draft, said Mel Kiper Jr., who's been doing this for a long freaking time. Had him rated and ranked above Cam Ward, did Mel Kiper. And then Mel threw a fit on air that night that Shedeur fell through the first round of the draft. And then continued to fall, fell all the way, obviously, to 144th in the draft, 5th round pick. I know a lot of people think this is just some woke opinion. It's not a woke opinion. I know woke. I'm just telling you, this young man can play quarterback at the highest level in this league. He is capable of being a franchise quarterback and taking a team to the promised land. I watched him at Jackson State. I watched him for 2 years at Colorado. He didn't have much of an offensive line. He still doesn't have much of an offensive line when he gets in the game, especially today. But he's got the whole package. He's got enough size. He's not huge, but his arm is Brady-esque. It's at least as strong as Brady's. He can run, as we saw in the first preseason game. He can move. But the main things he has are poise and command and leadership intangibles that he got from his father. I think the greatest athlete who ever played any sport, Deion Sanders. He got some of Deion's personality, his charisma, his captivation. And what he got that Deion didn't have was an arm. He doesn't have Deion's speed, but he got an arm that his father never had in baseball. His father was really a good baseball player, but not much of a put-out guy from center field. He could just run balls down. Shedeur is deadly accurate, led the nation in percentage, in completion percentage. Shedeur is as tough mentally and physically as any college quarterback I have ever seen. I got it. He's got the exotic cars, and he's got the attitude. He's got the swag. He's got the... Yeah, I got it. He got that from his dad. But he backed it up game after game, throw after throw. You want to talk about clutch toughness? It's Shedeur, and he gets stuck in Cleveland because he said some things in the pre-draft process. He said some things to teams at the combine that were straight, chip off block sort of things that he shouldn't have said. Came across as incredibly arrogant. And the word of mouth, it's not like there's a memo sent out, but the word of mouth all around this league was, let's teach him, and especially his daddy, a lesson. Let's just put them in their place. It was just sickening and shameful to watch. Let's teach them who we are and who they're not. And all those coaches who didn't want to take him were scared to death that if you did take him, that pretty soon the owner is going to be thinking, well, I could get Deion Sanders to coach. I'm going there because it's going to create box office, and maybe he's a better coach than you are, coach. He is. Scared to death of him. Even though the irony of this is that, trust me on this, Shedeur and Deion are going their separate ways. It was time. It's time to cut the cord. Shedeur had never been coached by anybody all the way up from Little League football up except Deion. And they both knew it's just time to move forward and show the world that he's his own man as a young man, as Deion has always proven he's his own man. Not that there isn't love there, but it was just time to go forth, go forward, prove who you are and prove separately who you are. It was perfectly on time. So it had nothing to do with Deion being the coach of Shedeur, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be Shedeur's coach. And I'm in fact very sure that Shedeur does not want Deion to coach him henceforth. So it's like he got sabotaged today. That's how it struck me, that they threw him in because they didn't want him to make any more splash and put any more heat on Stefanski. And he's coming off an oblique pull, and I don't know if it affected him today, but it's a desperate, dangerous situation in which he's got no shot, man. He's throwing to Sal freaking Canella? What? And that was the one ball he did come. He was 3 out of 6, but he got sacked 5 times because he's hanging on the ball, trying to make a play, and nobody can separate. It looked like the Rams were playing some second teamers. That Engel kid is just guided missile, and it looked like they had more talent on the field than certainly Cleveland had in the offensive line and in the receiver core that was on the field with Shedeur. And he's waiting, and he's looking, and he's drifting, and I got it, and that's a knock on him in college. But you got to give him something to work with, because in his position as you could say the 5th string quarterback, I don't know, maybe he's the 6th string. I don't know what he is. And then then it comes down to a couple of minutes are left, and there's one last hurrah. They get the ball back, and Shedeur tries to go on the field, and Stefanski puts Tyler Huntley in place of him. And it completely humiliated Shedeur, who's turned to Stefanski like, what? It's just excruciating.